here only because you were aiding others.
The original Watchers, too, were selfish. They wanted the knowledge for its own sake, not as a tool to be used. And that attitude triggered the virus.
Uh-oh, the beacon's getting ready to guide us someplace. But where?
Seems to me there's only one way to find out.
You have to be unbendable from the perspective of Avatar. You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing, but there's some real shit, you know what I'm saying? And let me pause this for a second. Now, of course, you know, not speaking to the perspective of being flexible, you know what I'm saying, and bending, but don't break, you know what I'm saying? Not from that perspective. Of course, the English language, you could use it all kind of ways, but to not be bendable, you know, just now Aang connected with basically a personification of Turtle Island. You know, it was an island that was basically a lion turtle, you know what I'm saying, on Avatar. And it told him before we was bending elements, we were bending our internal energy, you know, and he touched him on the first eye and the heart. And, you know, it also kind of connects to acupuncture and, you know, touching on energy centers, energy centers. But long story short, you know, basically when he was facing the Fire Lord, he did this maneuver to the Fire Lord, and then both of their energies, just raw energy, not an element, but just raw energy, started kind of coming out of him. You know what I'm saying? Out of Fire Lord and out of Aang, the Avatar. And as that was happening, he had like a flashback of what the turtle said, or the lion turtle was like, you have to make sure when you know, you're doing this to somebody that you're unbendable, because otherwise your energy will be corrupted. And that hit so strong because, you know, all the videos I've done about, you know, the narcissistic energies, or, you know, manipulation and things of this nature, to where, again, if you get caught up too much in that energy, your energy will start to become corrupted, and you'll feel or act as if you're the corrupted one, you know what I'm saying, due to allowing yourself to be bended by that energy. So you have to be unbendable. You know what I'm saying? You have to know your energy to the fullest. Again, knowing yourself is the highest form of protection. And that also makes you unbendable. You know what I'm saying? And a while back I did, not too long ago, but I want to say that was last year, I did the video about blood bending. And blood bending being connected in so many ways to like the food you eat, or like, you know, toxic foods getting in your blood, or just toxins in your blood in general. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we speak to like about, you know, ain't nothing wrong with alcohol. You know, it's all about a balance and how you deal with things. But alcohol, for example, because it turns into sugar in the blood, and more so because it moves through the blood. But let's just say sugar, let's not even say alcohol, let's say sugar. You know, sugar could go, basically it moves through the blood. And no coincidence that, you know, again, when we talk about witching and how witches are connected to, or certain forms of magic, again, not witches in a derogatory sense, but like tapping into that witch energy, and basically working with the herbs, you know what I'm saying? If you deal with the orishas, you know, you tapping in with that Osain energy, you know what I'm saying? But how, you know, dandelion root, burdock root, you know what I'm saying? Red clover, all these different blood purifiers, you know, detox your energy and makes it tough for you to be blood bended. Because again, what I was speaking to about being blood bended was also just, again, like these addictions that get in, these toxins that get in your blood and make you addicted to certain substances. It almost make you feel like you can't stop yourself from going to the store and get the candy. You know, it's like you can't stop yourself from going and get the alcohol. You know, it's as if something else is controlling you or bending your energy or bending your blood and controlling you like a puppet. And also, you know, in connection with water bending, because the water benders more so are connected to blood bending. And on here, they speak about like how the first water bender was actually the moon, in essence. You know what I'm saying? But again, you know, drawing the analogies, you know, water ain't just water. Water is connected to the ocean. I mean, water is connected to the emotions, and water is connected to the subconscious. You know what I'm saying? And in essence, the subconscious is the underworld, and the underworld, you know what I'm saying? We talk about Pisces. That's why a lot of beings associated with the underworld, you know, the fish, in most cases, serpents, you know what I'm saying? Tiamat, you know, Leviathan, all those different, you know, you're familiar with all those different rundowns. But like the blood bending, the first blood bender they showed on Avatar, it was an old lady, and you know, she realized she could do this through connecting with the moon, and she started doing it through working on mice, and then she got to the space of working on actual human beings. And no coincidence that most of these substances, you know what I'm saying, that's used against you in a toxic manner, you know, putting these foods and stuff to make you addicted, you know, a lot of that stuff was tested on mice, you know what I'm saying, literal mice, you know, or rats or whatever, you know what I'm saying, laboratory rats. And that also connects to a while back when I did the video on social engineering and the statement that B.F. Skinner made, and Aldous Huxley. But in particular, in this case, B.F. Skinner was the actual inventor of the controllant box that they started doing rat experiments on, you know what I'm saying? But full circle, being unbendable, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, just how important it is to, you know, take care of your energy on multiple levels, you know, mentally, emotionally, physically, and that you can combat certain spiritual and emotional and mental things through just doing certain physical things to your body. Again, the breath work, the qigong, you know what I'm saying, the yoga, you know what I'm saying. And this also correlates what I want to bring up in that recent live, you know, for the anime fans. Again, you gotta know of the anime Avatar, The Last Airbender, but then also, you know, Demon Slayer kind of points to this as well. You know, as far as like Demon Slayer, the two main weapons that the Demon Slayers use is they have different breath techniques. You know, got the breath of love. That's the new girl on Demon Slayer. She got the breath of love, tapped into the Venus energy in so many ways. You know, you got the fire breathing. Another brethren might have, like, I forgot what the different names, but, you know, again, all these different forms of breath work, you know, strengthening up your currency. And, you know, and again, like your currency, your spiritual currency, and some people connect this to your spiritual birthright, in essence, you know what I'm saying? Like, and your ancestors being able to back you up and be there for you due to how much chi energy, you know what I'm saying, you're able to, you know, hold in your bank, in essence, you know what I'm saying? Again, when you talk about qigong, you know, you got the energy. You could store chi in a little area around your navel. You know what I'm saying? No coincidence that, again, around your navel is the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is represented by water, you know, current, sea, you know what I'm saying, water energy. And hence why also when your emotions is erratic, you know, your spending habits probably become erratic. You know what I'm saying? You're not able to save money. You know, it turns into what we call money, but you're not able to save, whether it's money, resources, again, currency, your chi energy, you know what I'm saying? That water current gets, expended or eradicated. Not completely, but again, like, through that manipulation, through you being bendable or not being bendable. You know what I'm saying? It's, again, it's all a balance because, with dealing with certain energies of once being manipulated or whatever the case may be, it is that understanding of, for one, you got to hold yourself accountable for what you allowed yourself to experience in this lifetime while still not blaming yourself to the point of where you're kind of like, basically ignoring the fact that, yeah, it was manipulation involved, you know what I'm saying? And you got to be aware to not blame, but then accurately know, though, that was really going on, you know what I'm saying? And with the whole thing about not being unbendable, also to make sure that, you work on your trust, work on your own energy, because when you go through certain things, you may, to prevent yourself from being bendable, because this, again, speaking to solutions or what is not healthy to do, maybe for a certain point or a certain moment as you're kind of gaining, your internal trust with yourself back and things of this nature. But, it could kind of manipulate you into a state of closing down your heart chakra or closing down, socially and sensually, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to do that either, because again, instead of like, you might take the unbendable energy to an extreme of like, oh, well, I ain't gonna fuck with nobody and I'm not gonna let anybody into my life again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go into that extreme either. So, again, though, being unbendable, you know what I'm saying? Long story short. And again, I referenced the videos that you could go look up, do your own research, of course. Of course, you don't have to, but you don't have to take a resonate, leave or don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't just listen to me like that, you know what I'm saying? Do your own research, you know what I'm saying? Tap in with your intuition. But most likely, if you was guided to watch this video, in most cases, it may, align and you were guided to watch this video. But just being unbendable because your integrity and the things you work on, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like, if it wasn't for the example of my YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying, how many videos I made without worrying about money, you know what I'm saying, and just the purity of my being, helping people, you know what I'm saying, from that perspective, then those moments when I was being a little bendable and my integrity was being tested, it could have threw everything in the trash can. Everybody could have started looking at me like, oh man, he flip-floppy. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't on point. He talk about this or that, but look at him doing this, but because of so much integrity that was built, like the foundation that I built, through my YouTube channel, because that's just the most prominent example, created a strong foundation of integrity, you know what I'm saying, to, in essence, be like you could say like a reserve or just like something that helps to maintain that integrity, and maintain that unbendable energy, you know what I'm saying? And again, because it's a co-creation, if certain people start to feel like you're not integral, then, that's a part of manifesting, co-creating is a part of manifesting into this realm, you know what I'm saying? Again, that goes to different dimensions and stuff like that, but we ain't gonna go all off into that. Just making sure you're unbendable, you know what I'm saying? And again, just like in this example, and in the part when he did do that little technique I was talking about, the Fire King energy was about to corrupt him, and overtake him. But just at the last moment, his energy, shot through, and, basically overpowered. And he took away the Fire Lord's ability to bend fire. You know what I'm saying? Because that's also a thing, too. Because, matter of fact, they had the little, one of the little chicks on here, one of the girls on here, she knew how to touch certain little, again, like acupuncture slash, kind of like the Fist of the North Star. If you are old school and you remember that anime, but Fist of the North Star, kind of like we're hitting the pressure points, and, and literally though, Fist of the North Star was about like hitting those pressure points and controlling people in essence. Like you could hit certain pressure points and the person would like walk the other way, or, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But on there, their heart would burst. That was like kind of gory, kind of rough anime, but it's an old school one. But again, the chick on Avatar, would hit the little points and stop a person from being able to bend the element that they can bend or whatever. So long story short, Aang made sure that energy didn't overpower him, and became unbendable and didn't get corrupted. So you got to continue to do whatever it is that you got to do to make sure that you're unbendable. Because also, again, speaking to the, in analogy to blood bending on here and connecting it to, certain toxic foods and stuff that's being promoted, but that's also being unbendable mentally, like you got all this social engineering. Speaking of a show, you got to healthily watch shows, if you watch shows at all, or anime and stuff like that. Be aware of what you're consuming on all levels. Your eyes consume, your mouth consume, your nose consume, your ears consume, your skin, the biggest organ on your body, in essence, which is down there, your whole body in essence. Well, I mean, for the most part, but that consumes, so you got to be aware of what you're consuming so you don't consume things that make you bendable in the example of what I'm giving. You know what I'm saying? Again, like making sure you're unbendable, like correlating to the Avatar energy, but making sure, because they use the word bendable, again, like being able to maneuver or move the elements. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you are unbendable. Make sure that you're not bending to some social engineering. You're not bending to certain subconscious programming. You're not bending to certain toxins in your blood. You know what I'm saying? You're remaining unbendable. And again, not being unbendable to the extreme of closing yourself down. You know what I'm saying? To the whole experience, because that's the trick of it too. It like could trick you into, not even say it, but those situations or whatever you attracted or you allowed to happen in your experience or that you may have signed up for karmically, whatever, don't allow for that to make you, go to the extreme of like just closing down extremely. Again, you might have moments where you do have to kind of guard your heart chakra or guard certain chakras, but, again, not getting to the space where you just completely shut down and close down. So just make sure that you continuously be unbendable. You know what I'm saying? Just point blank, but and also this speaks to, the video most recently that I did with myself to the brother Bridge of Ra, where we was talking about like building your domain and kind of having like that defense system within your auric field, you know what I'm saying, to protect you from certain things trying to come in and bend your energy, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Or control or manipulate your energy. So just always make sure that you're unbendable to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? Now is a vibrate, not too far in the future, not too far in the past, right now. Peace.